Hello and good morning. Welcome to our cottage garden. We're going to be doing some fun things, planting some stuff up, moving some stuff around, and then some sad things like cutting back the peonies. It's so sad how short the peony season is, but our peonies are starting to struggle in this beautiful heat. Right back here, they're sort of starting to look like they're melting. And we are gonna be planting up some snapdragons. I have my list here of our little garden to-dos. So maybe this can inspire you to either make a list of your own or to get out in the garden and join me so we can hang in the garden together today. It really is a glorious day. The birds are out, the hummingbirds are just gonna flit by. We have tons and tons of beautiful butterflies right now. And the garden is looking gorgeous. I just want to do a quick garden update on some of our roses here. So as you can see, climbing up our rose arbor are the Zephyrin Druin roses. And I just love that the Alnwick roses, those are these ones here, and then Olivia Rose, Austin roses, Olivia Rose, and the Alnwicks, look how beautiful, are still blooming with the Zephyrin Druin. I just love it. And I think there's this angle over here that just looks so beautiful to me, kind of like quintessentially cottage garden, like the Nepeta, all of these beautiful sunpatiens, the hostas, the foxgloves, daisies, roses. There's something about that view that I just could eat up with a fork. It's beautiful. Look at those Alnwick roses. So yeah, I just wanted to kind of share that with you because I think that's just so pretty. Yum, yum, yum. The only issue is that with our Zephyrin Druin climbers, these ones, the caterpillars are obsessed with. You guys, you can probably see here that they have little holes in them. That's because when they were in bud form, the caterpillars were just going in and drilling little holes in them. But it is nice to see some color on this arch. And this has such a lovely, rich fragrance. It's delicious. It really is a wonderful one. It just started blooming and it's already going over because of all the rain. But that's just really, really fun to see the Zephyrins climbing up our rose arbor and blooming. The Eden roses on the other side are a different story. Look, this is him here. Not much happening. Pretty foliage though. Okay, so this is where we're gonna start off. We're right at the front of the cottage garden. And basically, I had this idea that I would have sunpatiens kind of poking out like that, out of the fence. And I just feel like they're not really doing it. I think it's because it's a little bit shadier here, but it might take all season for them to do that. And I'm kind of thinking they're just getting a little bit lost. Maybe not. I mean, they're so pretty. But I'm thinking that I might put our snapdragons there instead. Our pink snapdragons just kind of spilling out. They do like more sun as well. I'm thinking that I might put the sunpatiens in this bed right here, our porch bed. There's a little gap, so we could use one right there. And then there's a little gap kind of here. So I'm kind of thinking that's where I want to transplant the sunpatiens. And that way we have that kind of connection of all of the barrels along the driveway, connecting to the front of our cottage garden, the long borders, and this area. So that everything is sort of connected because we have some of those same sunpatiens in our old cottage garden borders. We have some of them tucked into the hill there, right there. And we have a few of them kind of all over, but I thought it would be nice just to kind of tie that together and put those here. We'll see. That's the plan. That's how we're gonna start off. So I'm gonna set you up. I'm gonna get myself set up. And we're gonna start by digging the holes here so we can quickly transplant the sunpatiens so they're not sitting out too long because we wanna just get them straight in the ground. I might even water the hole before I bring them over because it's a hot day and they're not used to that. All right, I've had a little rethink and I think I'm gonna transplant one of the salvias that's getting kind of gobbled up by the lamium. I'm gonna transplant that into that blank space and transplant the sunpatiens more kind of along the front of the border. So we'll see how that goes. Okay, let me show you which one I'm gonna remove. Okay, Bert's gonna be working on our porch, but this little area is getting a little congested. Tons of beautiful lamium. We have our salvias, and I planted a little trio. One there, this is the Rock'n'D purple. One here, and then one right there, poking out. But this one's just getting kind of swallowed by all of this. I'm gonna have to cut some of these back, but I think the lamium's gonna fill in this spot. And I think this perennial salvia might, hopefully it'll give us another flush of blooms. But so I'll transplant that right there, and then hopefully that'll fill in that area. We have a couple of hyssops that might kind of start doing something. And then I think along the front of the border, 1, 2, and maybe 3, I'll fill that in with the sunpatiens. I think it'll look nice. So I filled the hole with a little bit of fertilizer. I want to treat them really well because I'm transplanting them at a bad time when it's really hot. And so we'll make sure that we water them in really well. But I'm gonna go ahead and get that one out and put them in the hole. And I think that'll make the whole area look a little bit tidier. Gosh, this year the slugs have really just gone after our salvias. Just the Rock'n'D purple and the pink profusion. And they cut these off at the base. So I'm glad I just, spotted that so that it's not trying to carry up all that weight while it's already under stress from being transplanted. But I think that's gonna be really, really pretty. I wouldn't typically do a groom of my salvias. Like I just sort of let them go. But I think clearing all that up, getting rid of these extra branches and some of, it means that we forfeit buds and stuff like that. But this was already on its last legs, these little branches. So hopefully that'll do well. I'll keep an eye on it, keep it nice and watered in. And now let's transplant our sunpatiens. All right, those are all prepped, the holes. Now let's go grab the sunpatiens. Compact lavender. The worms love it.
That looks wonderful.
Doesn't that look good?
Oh, Anna, that's great.
See, it's just kind of tucked away under the cobia scandens. We want it to shine. Those are one of my favorite plants this year. Shine, baby, shine. I know it's really bright, but I already love how that looks. I think it adds such a nice touch to the porch bed. It's so, so sweet. But while we're here, I figured we could go ahead and do some cutback. These lupins, they need a little bit of care. The rain has kind of splayed them out a little bit. And I just need to cut back these old spent blooms. Give the new ones a chance to shine. We have some new ones coming out. Plus the slugs have eaten those a little bit, so we'll cut that damage off. And then I just kind of want to cut back some of the anemones, the Canadian windflower, just to kind of free everything up. And so it's not kind of burying our spruce, which is the cutest little blue spruce ball. But these had never really bloomed for me, these lupins, until this year. And so I planted those, just throw some seeds in the ground. And when they didn't do anything, I thought, oh, I'll just put in a really cute blue spruce ball. So that way we have this kind of the white spruce here, the weeping white spruce with that beautiful weeping habit, and a little blue spruce ball. That'll look so nice for winter interest. A little boxwood pyramid, hydrangea. We had an ivory halo dogwood in there that we ended up transplanting, but this has just gotten completely gobbled up. So I'm gonna free this a little bit and then might cut back the hyacinth foliage, which is beautiful, but blooms very late. So it's this here. It was a double lacy purple grape hyacinth, really beautiful. And we had, I think 45, 50 bulbs, as you can see, kind of all throughout here. They're a really late bloomer though. But I actually think that looks quite cute. Maybe we'll leave those until they've fully died back. That petunia is being completely eaten by slugs. Oh. Maybe I'll give her some fertilizer so she can bounce back. But let me clear up some of this and then we'll move on. But I just love how it looks. Yay! Fun! All right, now let's plant our snapdragons. They're really pretty pink, and snapdragons flop really badly for us here. So I thought the picket fence could sort of hold them up, but they grow geotropically, meaning if they fall over, they kind of send out their bloom stalks following like toward the sun. So I thought it might be kind of fun to just have them kind of poking through and weaving their way through the fence. It might look like a giant mess, but that's the vision that I have going into it, so keep that in mind. And luckily, we already have the holes for them where the sunpatiens were. So hopefully this will be pretty easy. We'll do 3 on either side, water them in, give them a little bit of food, and they'll be good to go. There's lots of stuff right here, so I'm having to kind of squat. But this is the rocket pink snapdragon. Height 30 to 36 inches tall, and spacing is 15 inches. Maybe we'll do 1 or 2 here, and then we'll do the others on the other side. So right from the driveway, there are 4 planted there. So I'm just hoping that these will kind of poke their way through. And you'll see like pink snappies. We've just got 2 here because we have a later blooming clematis that's kind of taking up this area. So we've got a couple right there. So hopefully that'll at least look like it's similar without being exactly matched. Oh, I love how the cottage looks this time of year with all the trees fully leaved out. Oh, and having this white picket fence in place. Our little tripods. I just love it. Oh, so yesterday I came out here and started weeding, and I was like, oh, I'll just take a couple of days to weed the driveway. No. Very unrealistic. It took me like an hour and a half just to do this little area behind. And we have the whole driveway to do. So anything, but we did weed it, and I put down some pea gravel. I kind of like the way that the soft kind of sandstone color of gravel looks here. I feel like it just looks very natural. It kind of, like from a distance, if you're looking at it from the cottage, it sort of looks like earth, you know, it just looks like dirt in a way, but really clean, great weed suppressant. So I think that'll be really, really handy. And then I poured a solution of some like distilled like vinegar that had been watered down. And I watered down some vinegar, put, what else did I put in there? A little bit of salt and something else, because I realized it would just take me way too long to like properly weed everything. So I'm just doing the gravel and then pouring some of that over top, making sure that it's on a hot day and it's not going to be raining, so it's not getting in the flower beds. Although if it did rain, it would just go down the hill that way instead of going into the flower beds, but you don't want to put any of that solution into the flower beds. Martha Stewart has a recipe for that kind of like all natural DIY weed suppressant. So I tried that. Other than that, I'm not doing any sprays, nothing like that. But I did think, oh, that's going to be too much for me to try and weed this whole driveway. So I am doing that here. So we have been gifted with a little bit of overcast weather and it started to sprinkle a little bit. So that's nice. Hopefully everything will now have a chance to really settle in without being exposed to all this heat. And you and I get a little bit of a break from this crazy heat, which I love. I love the heat, but it's not too bad. Oh, I love how this bed is looking. Yay. So what I'd like to do before we grab lunch, we're just gonna make some lunch here, but I wanna go to the veggie patch and grab some stuff to pop in our little salads. I think we're gonna do kind of like a nourish bowl type of thing, like lentils, quinoa, lettuce, avocado, lots of seeds, pumpkin seeds, hemp, that kind of thing. I think before that, I think we're just going to tackle these peonies and then we'll move on to the roses and then hopefully we'll head over to the vegetable patch, see how everything has been faring in all this rain. So I like using these stakes. Now that these are all done, these are gonna stay nice and like in this perfect little shrub shape here and look good for the rest of the season. They don't flop or anything like that for us. It's just the blooms that we need to stake up, right? So now that they're done blooming, I love using those stakes for the dahlias. Those are like the perfect size and shape, like the perfect height for our dahlias. So we might come in and just replace a few of those. I think we have 3 or 4 of those bigger stakes. So at least a few of our dahlias will be properly staked. And the rest of them already have little plant supports around them that are just a little bit shorter. So let me go ahead and dump this basket. We're a little bit full right now, and then we'll tackle the rest of them. I love that these snapdragons are putting on another huge flush of blooms. That's so fun. Put these in our little compost. It's like our lazy compost. It's just all the garden waste that we don't feel like bringing over to the other compost at the other end of the property. Okay. Oh, it's really starting to rain. Okay, finish the peonies, but we'll have to pause on the roses for now. Hi, sweet girl. Oh, did I wake you up? Hiya, bedhead. You good girl? Okay, our list got a little rain spattered, but that's okay. So we planted up the snapdragons, transplanted the sunpatiens, cut back the peonies. There are a couple more peonies in the back of the long borders that we need to do. Now let's cut back irises, roses, and lilacs. It looks like it's sunny again. This weather is crazy. Isn't that boom chocolate geranium beautiful? It still has tons of buds on it, but I just love that. I love how that looks with the roses. Oh, that's lovely. Okay, so I think I'm gonna come through and cut back the summer snowflakes. I tied them all up in little knots. Here, I'll show you. I'll cut this one. So I tied them all like that. So it would just be super easy to come through and cut them back, but I think they've been up long enough and I'm just kind of tired of looking at them, to be honest. I just want this to be nice and clean. So I'm gonna come through, cut all of these back and cut back some of the spent irises that are still lingering. But things are looking good. We just have to get the peonies in the back of the border, the lilacs. I think we'd be good. Then lunchtime. That's a full basket. There we go. It's looking sharp. Let's clean up these peonies in the back here. I forgot to say I was getting so much sun that I wanted to put a long sleeve shirt on just for my back so I didn't get it burned. But everything is looking really sharp. I really love how I weeded and kind of cut back everything in the borders right along the cobblestone pathway. I just think it looks really, really sharp and nice. And then imagine when the whole driveway looks like that. That's just so nice. Cut back the lilacs, the peonies, the roses, the snowflakes, weeds. And there were some weeds that were the phlox from last year that we transplanted. And let me show you one of them that is really blooming in the border. We transplanted them to the hillside so that they could stay back there. And when we cut them back, if they get powdery mildew or rust, it won't look like a huge gap in the front of the border, which is where we had them before at the front of the border, which they looked insane and beautiful at the front of the border. It's just about a week after they finished blooming, they were just really horribly afflicted with rust. And then when we cut them back, it took them a long time to bounce. And it was kind of a prime spot. So we've replaced them here with these sedum, which is really nice. I think those are like a nice addition to this border, and we have them repeated all throughout. So I think it's really, really nice, that like cloud-like pillows of blossoms, little embellifers that all of the bumblebees, honeybees, all the butterflies love to just land on and just have a smorgasbord. It's so sweet. But look at this. This is one of the phlox that's blooming. How cute, let me show you. So the phlox that we put on the hill used to be here and here. And I just love the way that those sedum look. So clean and tidy and beautiful. So this is where they were. They kind of like had skirted their way over here. And look at that. Isn't that a gorgeous phlox though? Really beautiful. It actually looks really nice with that alyssum underneath. And then here they are over here. Choom choom. There's 4. The others need to kind of get going, but nice. Cut back the lilac. That's the Equinox Valley lilac. Amazing, amazing shrub. It's named after our mountain. I cut back the irises. But yeah, it's looking wild. I love it on the hillside. Wild, wild on the hill, wild and soft, and then a little bit tidier here. Oh, I love it. Okay, I think Bert's gonna make some lunch. I'm gonna head over to the veggie patch with some beans in my basket. I'm gonna plant up the beans on the tripods, just the beans that we have left over. I was gonna plant them on these tripods, but the tripods are kind of filling up now. So on these 2 tripods here, we'll have cucumbers and morning glory growing up those too. Then in the vegetable patch, we'll do the beans. I think it'll be nice. So let's go over there and then we'll harvest maybe some lettuce. We'll see what's there to harvest, but we'll harvest some stuff just to kind of garnish our salad. Maybe some parsley or basil, like some herbs or something like that. Maybe we'll pick something for tea. We'll see. I love days like this where it's just kind of like a hodgepodge of little projects, because then it's that instant hit of gratification where you're just getting stuff done, ticking it off. Still need to figure out where I'm gonna put those stakes. That might be for another day though. This needs to be planted up. The easy daisies were so fun in the spring, but they are not happy now. That's what's in that pot. Okay, things in the vegetable patch are looking good. Some more of the cosmos are blooming. Oh, cute. Calendula's looking good. Nasturtiums are starting to bloom. Oh my gosh, these dahlias are really popping. Oh, the beans are coming up. Good, 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 good stuff. Wow, look at those beans. So I think we'll just fill in any little gaps on this side. And then we'll just kind of spread in some more on this side. Yeah, it'll be great. Oh, something's been getting in here. All right, well, let me go ahead and plant these beans. Then we'll do some harvesting. It's starting to rain again, but it's all good. And then we'll go in, have lunch, and I think that might be it for us. So I think I'm gonna grab one of these calendula flowers, because why not? Then let's grab maybe some dill. All right, so we planted the beans. Bert already made lunch. Thanks, Davey. And he already used some lettuce. So we're not doing lettuce, we're doing basil, oregano, parsley, calendula, and dill. I think we're probably just gonna do maybe dill, maybe just dill for this lunch, and then we'll do we're doing Thai green curry tonight, so we'll probably use some of the basil for that. All right, so I think I'll leave you now while we finish up our veggie bowls and garnish them with some beautiful things from the garden. Can you hear that? It's thundering. Gosh. So everything will be watered in, which is really, really great. I love thunderstorms in the summertime. It's so romantic. But thank you so much for watching. Like this video if you like, and subscribe if you're not already. It really does help us out. Share this video with a friend if you think someone might find it valuable or helpful or maybe inspiring in some way. And I hope you got a lot done in the garden today. I'll see you in the next one. Bye. So let's put some dill on here. Choom. Choom. one-handed. That's a little bit much, but I love dill.
Lovely.
Mushrooms, avocados, broccoli, lentils.